Live Life Being Adored, the art of celebrating everything there is in life, a podcast all about hosting, having, and attending amazing celebrations. Gathering matters, and you'll join me, award-winning event designer and publisher of Adore magazine, Kat Minks, as we delve into unique ways to have celebrations, why we have them, and the unique stories behind them, including places, people, themes, unique inspiration, meaningful events, and more. We touch on all kinds of celebrations and facets of them, from weddings, award shows, corporate gatherings, social events, kids' parties, birthdays, anniversaries, and the art of celebrating our gifts, purpose, and what we were created to do, which is gather. Hi everyone, Kat Minks here, and thanks for joining me on Live Life Being Adored. On today's episode, we are going to be talking all about a recap of the Adore Beloved issue. Adore is a magazine that I started in 2019, all about celebrations and lifestyle, because I've been in the events and entertainment industry for 18 years. And I thought it was time to share some of my tips and tricks and expert advice, along with the many other people that I have run into along the way throughout my career and continue to work with moving forward. So in this episode, we are going to be talking with Mark Cheatham. He is an editor and writer and publicist that I work with, and he has helped like so many people. He's an awesome person, and I was so excited to have him help me on the Beloved issue and moving forward with the new issue of Adore magazine, which is just about to come out. So I hope you check that out. It is called the With Love issue, and I can't wait to share it all with you. But for now, we are recapping and breaking down what went into the Beloved issue, and it gives you a great inside look at all the different details and facets of what goes into publishing not just any magazine, a magazine that's all about celebration and lifestyle, and using themes and, models and different photographers and writers and editors and all those items that go into publishing a magazine, but also producing an event too. So without further ado, here is the first section of what we're going to show you or tell you about in Adore magazine Beloved issue.
So this is the fabulous Mark Cheatham. He is an extraordinary publicist that I've known for, how long have I known you? Since 2003, or since before then, 2001. I met you.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah. It would be like 20 years, right? And Mark just has always been a great friend to me. And when I started Adore magazine, he was one of the only supporters. And since then, he has contributed to articles. He has been my brainstorm partner, and has just been really a heartbeat to a publication that I didn't know if I even wanted to continue doing sometimes. But
Adore, I love magazines, and Adore is great. And Kathy is putting a really nice, positive spin on my involvement with Adore. I'm coming on board officially semi full-time as what did we decide my title's going to be? Associate editor, whatever, troubleshooter, whatever. I'm going to be in the masthead somewhere, but at any rate, we do brainstorm. You could go through the DM messages that I get from Kathy, and I'll be saying, well, why haven't I heard back from you? And she'll say, because I didn't want to get yelled at. I'm real insistent about a lot of things, but the main reason we're recording this is we're going to do another segment that is going to kind of recap the battle that we had over the beloved issue. Can you hold up a copy of that? Do you have that handy? So hold it a little closer to the camera. So this is a teaser of the other segment that we're going to do. This is the last issue of Adore. I think the cover is great. And Kathy and I are going to recap the battle that we had over the cover. And there are 6 different covers that we will quickly review just to show people how you get from initial concept to the execution. We're not saying, you know, it's as intense as, you know, The Devil Wears Prada, or that we're putting out, you know, Vogue, but I think an equal amount of passion goes into what we're doing.
Absolutely agree. And it's interestingly enough, because if you look at like the kind of staff that a publication has, even local publications have a bigger staff than what we've had to pull this off.
I know, and I've always been amazed how you have managed to put this magazine out, what, 4 times a year?
Yeah.
And write it and market it and write the stories and come up with the ideas, and it's just insane. So what we're going to do now is talk to each other politely, I guess, about what we're doing for the fall issue. And I don't want to reveal too much. The theme of it is going to be about Carrie Bradshaw. She's kind of from Sex and the City. This is Kathy's idea. And she's kind of Carrie is the character, is the touchstone for the theme of the issue. I can tell you right now, one of the battles is going to be what I envision the cover to be, and Kathy not wanting to do it because I think that she should be on the cover channeling Carrie with, you know, messed up hair, pencils in there, maybe the Booger Boys in the background, you know, giving you a hard time waving their iPad or whatever, coffee stains on your material. Or maybe we could just do the desk. There's a plan B, you know, we could just do, you know, a picture of your desk, a messy desk. I know you're a neatnik, but that's another idea. You always have to have a plan B, people. If your main idea doesn't work out, or if the person that you're working with isn't comfortable with the idea.
Well, and it's not necessarily that I'm uncomfortable with it, but I don't want it to lose its appeal, being that the subhead of the magazine is Adore, an inspirational celebration and lifestyle magazine. I don't want it to be too focused on lifestyle. I want people to get from the cover that it's also about celebrations and events in your life. And I think every cover that we've had has really conveyed both. It's really melded both, whether it be like the first one was just centerpieces and a flower. And that's when I was still trying to evolve, like, what is this going to be?
And how long ago was that issue?
This was spring of 2019.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, and I hear what you're saying. It's Adore is a celebration of lifestyle. And what was the other thing you said?
Celebration and lifestyle an inspirational celebration and lifestyle publication.
Inspirational celebration and lifestyle. Now I can rationalize anything to get what I want. And I hear what you're saying about not getting too far away of the celebration and not leaning too hard into the lifestyle. Maybe in the message from the editor, you can talk about the cover and say, hey, lifestyle doesn't always lend itself to celebration because life happens. And the moments that you get to celebrate are even more sweet because of the times when your life is hectic.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, in our overall message, I've been really working hard on the social media to reflect that our magazine is not necessarily, I think a lot of people, because they knew me as like a wedding planner, because I have done that for so many years, they expected the magazine to convey so much of that. And really, honestly, as the issues have gone on, it really has started to encompass every type of celebration, no matter what it is in your life. And social media has really, social media has really been trying to reflect that it's about, yes, a wedding is beautiful and start of a life, of a family or a couple, but it doesn't stop there with that one big event. Your life is going to be full of all kinds of events and celebrations, no matter if it's a new business or an article that you write or a new job or a graduation or whatever.
And I think you've covered a lot of the different kind of celebrations, and you brought spirituality into it, talking with a younger couple who met while they were in therapy or treatment or wedding counseling,
Mhm.
Ironing out some issues before, getting married. I wish that article had come out before my wedding.
Yeah.
Kathy planned my wedding. It was beautiful. I got married on Valentine's Day in 2007?
No, earlier than that.
Yeah, I've wiped a lot of it from my memory, but at any rate, it was a great wedding and a great event. Yeah, you did, earn your stripes as a wedding planner, an event planner, a makeup artist, a stylist, which you still do. Oh, and who is the head of your social media department? That would be you. I just love how you talked about it because it makes it sound like you have a social media staff, which is you.
Well, shh.
Shh, that's a secret. We're recapping. How did we get into the discussion of the beloved issue cover?
Yeah. So it's funny because ever since the issue came out, I have definitely felt a little bit of interesting response from those involved, um, even though it's never promised when we do a shoot that a certain model or person or whomever is going to get a cover. Never in my life have I ever said to a photographer, this is going to be on the cover, or a model, this is going to be on the cover. I've never ever said that because I'm really not sure until the last minute. Mark will even. And well, everyone we work with is fantastic. There's certain reasons that why we choose covers and what goes into that.
Well, I keyed into the word interesting when you were talking about the Adore cover. So let's talk about the positive reactions that you got to the cover that were of interest, because your plan, as you're saying, your plan was not for you to be on the cover. That was something that I insisted on. And that was a battle.
Well, and the photo shoot I did for that picture was, I kind of had an idea to be on the cover. I did take the picture, and because I thought, if anything like the previous issue, I potentially have an idea to be on every cover, maybe. But I wasn't totally sold on that idea. So when I presented the cover options to you, I didn't think that you were going to be like, yes, you should be on there.
You didn't think I was going to say yeah?
No.
Well, and you know what I think, Kathy, what we should probably do is maybe when we do the segment, screen share some of the other photographs of the models, because they were really, really good. The Beloved issue was themed to Prince, because he's a native of Minneapolis, and that's where Adore is headquartered, and where Kathy lives, just for background. And the photos are great. They were really well done. The models were beautiful. So my backup idea was, let's do 2 covers. But yeah, I really wanted, I just really liked that white suit and you on the cover. I think the pictures popped, and I understand kind of, you got the kind of what do they call that? The Oprah influence there. It's like, oh, is she trying to be like Oprah, being on the cover all the time? But you haven't been on the cover that much.
Well, and can I just tell you, that suit was pulled for one of the models to wear.
Why didn't the model wear it?
We were running out of time. We had so many outfit options for that feature that we were just running out of time. And I plan to do one of these, video calls, video Zoom recordings with the photographer and the other stylist that I had, and the makeup artist and everything.
How did you end up in the suit?
It didn't get used. And I was like, that's a really pivotal part of Prince's style. He was very well known for his suits, and
Yep.
he had all of his clothes were custom. And I mean, that was just a really big part of his style.
So it was just kind of, you just were like, I'm going to put this suit on, take my picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was kind of like just something that happened and almost an afterthought. You weren't even really shooting those pictures for you to be on the cover.
Not really. I thought I would use them for something, but I didn't know that I didn't have a plan to use them for the cover. And then when I started looking at all the different models in the feature, and I was like, I'm really bummed that we didn't get to use this suit. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just use my picture.
And that's part of the story of how we ended up with you on the cover of the Beloved issue.
And about 20,000 iterations of me on the cover.
Hey, everybody, and thank you for joining us with Live Life Being Adored. This is Kat Minks here, and I'm the publisher, creator of Adore Magazine, but I couldn't do it without the help of some amazing artists and creatives, writers, photographers, stylists of all different types and businesses that help create this magazine every time we do. Initially, we aimed for 4 issues a year, and that was a little bit advantageous, I think, for us. I still do events, so it's a little bit harder for me to produce 4 whole issues on my own, basically. So what I've been doing is kind of compiling and waiting until we have enough content to really make an issue make sense. And that's, I think what that's going to look like moving forward is probably 2 issues a year for right now, maybe 3, maybe 2 with like a bonus, something like that. But we're just kind of getting our bearings. I mean, I was I went really strong out the gate with it, and I just, pushed forward. And at that time, my event business, we were in COVID, like for part of that time. So there wasn't a lot of events. So I was able to put a lot more towards the magazine. And I am hoping that the magazine someday grows to be something like really awesome and big. It is awesome, but I mean, come on. So what I would like to do is just go through some of the magazine. You heard Mark and I talking about how we chose the cover and our process in doing that. But I am going to go through some of the inside of the issue with you. And I am hoping that in the coming episodes of Live Life Being Adored,
that I get to share with you some of the other creatives that had a hand in creating some of the issues like the beloved issue. And there's are also people that I work with some of the time on events and celebrations. So you're going to get some really great advice too, that you can apply to your own celebrations and life. So let's go through the adore issue. There I am. You heard me say to Mark that I did not think that I was going to be on the issue. And actually, I've really thought really hard about, you know, do I put myself on the front and put it out there like that? Or do I make the focus kind of very generalized for each cover? But I guess this made sense. And as I explained when I was talking with Mark earlier, is that, it made sense to do the issue this way and do the cover this way, but we also did an inside cover, which is something that a lot of publications do now. But this was actually the inside cover, and it has beautiful Maggie on the inside cover. So if somebody really wanted to, they could rip off the front cover and just see her beautiful face. But I put myself out there. I try to push myself a little bit. But I also am the Adore brand. One of the things that I aim for with Adore on the event side and the consulting side is that to really put a face to what Adore is. And I've always been about accessibility and making things really easy for people and easy to have something that feels really luxurious. And so that is why I felt like this made sense too once Mark pushed me to do it. But yeah, so that's, and if you are listening, to the podcast, you will see what I mean. If you go to the website, you'll see what I mean. But I'm going to be breaking down, and I'm going to do the best I can to be descriptive of the different areas of Adore magazine to the people that are listening to the podcast. But you can still get the beloved issue. It's in digital or print. There's limited print copies, and there is also digital copies of it as well. But so in every issue, I try to do a spread of a inspired celebration. And so one of the things in this beloved issue is we did an inspired by celebration, and the inspired by was inspired by Prince. And I have a long history with loving Prince. I'm a huge Prince fan. And so I was just really excited to do this issue. And I really thought hard about the details and different things. So I'm going to start with the middle, and that's actually in the middle of this publication. And the front, or the spread, is me in front of a bunch of champagne glasses, a champagne wall that we actually have with Adore Productions. And we did all purple food so that the purple really stuck out on the table. Purple dishes and gold, of course, because if you ever saw pictures of Prince's home in Italy, there was lots of gold gilded details, and Versace did a lot of the decor in his home in Italy and stuff. So I wanted to kind of play with that and pick that up. But we did also an all vegan menu. So that's like a vegan cabbage salad. It's really good in the summertime. It's fantastic. And it's made with like purple cabbage and cloves and dill, and I actually really love it. But and pecans. So we try to do a food feature as a part of the styled table that we do in the publication. So this is some of the inside. And we did eggplant as a main dish to showcase. So we, again, going with that all purple food theme. So when you're planning a party, you really want to really think about those details. And those are the ones that people are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that you
took something and ran with it. Like you took one idea and just went and it made it explode, like just going all purple. With this is, and we did purple onions. So that was one of the things as the garnish. Purple drink, purple champagne on the champagne wall. And then the other thing that we did was, so this was styled to be like a brunch. And the thing that inspired that was one of Prince's favorite restaurants that, and his private chef actually owns a organic restaurant. And so, but one of Prince's favorite things to do was to make pancakes. So we did a lavender lemon pancake for one of the pictures. And that was really fun to do. And the flowers that we used were all lilacs. So it was my hope that people would really get it and understand it. I think if you're a Prince fan, you probably understand it. But then we had little, like if you look in the back, there's signs on the mantle in some of the pictures that say "Dearly Beloved" on them. So we used like some of his song names. And throughout the issue, we used some of the names of his songs to inspire like the titles of the articles. One of the titles was "Relationship Controversy, Get Ready to Kiss." And in that article, we had a couple that their dream is to open a couples retreat to help couples that are in trouble in their marriage kind of reconnect. And they were a couple that we actually featured in a different magazine for Adore a few years earlier. And they came back and wrote a story for this one. So we thought it would be really fun to put a twist on using Prince's songs as the names or titles for the articles. And then we also, let's see, let me go through some of the other parts. So obviously we did an amazing shoot with using everything that was inspired by some of Prince's fashion and his style and his songs. And I talked about that a little bit with Mark earlier. But if you are listening, so one of the things that we did is we had a Sola wood florist create basically the front cover of to simulate one of Prince's albums, and all different colored flowers, and the models laying in all the flowers. So that was the homage to the Purple Rain album cover. We also took style from one of his music videos and songs. So one of the places that we shot at was Prince Music Company, which is an actual business in Minnesota. And they sell instruments and do lessons. And so they let us use their space to shoot in. And the model is actually dressed in a local Minnesota designer. We tried to use as many local Minnesota designers as possible for this issue. And so what we did was we just draped her in pearls as a homage to Diamonds and Pearls. And we had her sitting in front of a big wall of guitars. And she kind of had the 80s style, but also, well, I would say 90s. If you watch like some of his music videos from like the 90s and like 1992 or 91, you see like the Diamond and Pearl girls in a couple of his videos. And so she kind of emulates that style. And she had like this really feathery mini skirt and satin bustier. And then she had this really pretty feathered kimono that was created by a local Minneapolis designer. Her name is Mariah Mack. And Mariah Mack actually took the photos for this. And then we went on to the car shoot. So we shot this in front of the W Hotel in Edina, Minnesota. And at that time, they actually had a bar drink menu that was inspired by Prince. And I think they may have even done a partnership with Paisley Park at that time, where they were kind of co-promoting each other, the hotel and the museum. But so we had a car collector let us use his red Corvette as the main piece in this photo, and the models were in all polka dots. And this was planned. Prince had a tour where he wore a polka dot suit, and so I wanted the girls to all be in polka dot, and we carried over some of the pearls, and that was kind of, we had her carry that in from Under the Cherry Moon. If you've ever watched that movie, one of the like, it just, the style of the 20s and 30s kind of era is emulated in this. But we also wanted to get that rock and roll feel, so we paired the polka dot outfit, the like tight polka dot outfit, with like bright cherry red gloves, and it pops off the Corvette, and it was just an amazing detail. And the shoot just turned out, we had so many outfits that we could have just kept going, because as you probably know, Prince's fashion was just so widely, his style was so defined, but we could have just kept going with all the different looks that we had picked out from all the different eras of his career. And so that was like amazing. So then we moved on. The next shot was actually done in Prince Music Company as well. And this outfit was inspired by Purple Rain, the song. Mariah's custom kimono, again, a kimono dress that Mariah had the model wear. And she actually had like thigh-high tights, very much emulating Vanity 6. And I think it was very, very stylistic, but not overly sexy, which is something that I try to really adhere to for the magazine, is not be too risque. Although, as we all know, Prince throughout his career was risque. But I try for the magazine to keep it more celebration centric or celebration-esque, and have style in every era of that. So when I was thinking too about these designs, I was thinking about what somebody might wear to a celebration of Prince, or a dinner party, or a concert. So the next outfit was inspired also by rock and roll. So this is a hand-painted jacket that I actually made for the shoot. It was to simulate the cloud outfit that Prince wore in one of his videos. His outfit was actually blue with white clouds, but this jacket is white with blue clouds. But it was kind of as an homage to that. And then, of course, the gold necklace. Prince often had like gold chains or gold jewelry throughout his career, in different times of his career. And sometimes it was very prominent, and sometimes it wasn't. But I felt like this piece was actually made by an artist named Jenny Bader, and she owns Jenica Jewelry, and so she created that. And then I actually did do the detail on the jeans. So we did a fringe detail, because there was a tour where Prince had fringe detail on his pants. And so I took that idea and put that together with this look. So it was a gold fringe jean that we put on. So just again, going through the different styles and things. And then this one, so this was actually done, the next photo was actually done in the bar of the W Hotel. And like, as I said earlier, they did
a drink focused menu to Prince, and they had different drinks, and the drinks were named after his songs or lyrics in his songs. And this was a fantastic dress and shirt. So it was a two-piece, the model wore a two-piece dress in like a bright purple, and I just fell in love with this shirt. It was just gorgeous. And it was a custom shirt, Gabriella Kalima, and she is also a Minnesota designer. Gabriella Camila made the purple shirt and dress, and she stayed on set almost all day to help style some of the looks, which was great. And then, of course, the model sitting there with her purple champagne cocktail. And let's see. Then we had, in that same outfit, and I normally wouldn't showcase two of the same outfit, but I felt like it was important to do more of a Under the Cherry Moon homage. And so we had both the models pose next to each other, and one was dressed as the more male counterpart, and one was the overly feminine counterpart, and to kind of be an homage to the song Girls and Boys. And they just look so beautiful on the bar, and we thought it was a really cool moment. And I thought it really captures the essence of what some of the scenes in Under the Cherry Moon. So that's why we did that one that way. And then we had the Gold Experience dress. Oh, this dress was amazing. Gabrielle Kalima actually designed the Gold Experience dress that you see in the Beloved feature. And oh, it was so beautiful. So beautiful. It was a long maxi sheer with a bodysuit underneath. And I have to tell you, if you are looking for a custom designer, you have to reach out to her. She's just amazing. She can really do anything, and she's got such a great eye for fit, I think, and detail. And this model just, her name is Ashton, and she just really killed it. We love that. Okay, again, I wanted to capture that 20s style from Under the Cherry Moon. So we went with a beaded, I think this is a Dolce & Gabbana, I think. Dolce, my name, okay. So, oh no, a full beaded Waters gown. So this was a Waters gown, which, I mean, so beautiful. And then Jenny Bader custom made this piece for the bride's head. The bride wore a headband with pearls that draped down about almost 2 feet, I think. And the pearls were like chains to symbolize, so in print, in one of the Prince videos in My Name is Prince, Prince wears a hat, a police hat with a chain mask over his face. And so I kind of wanted to make that soft and approachable. And actually, this is a huge trend right now for brides, but to do this instead of a veil. But we had the bride pose with the pearls hanging down over her face. And also, pearls always appeared in different times in Prince videos and style and things. So I thought that was really important, but I just love this facial piece. And Jenny actually made those earrings as well, the rhinestone earrings that we paired it with. And so just going into further detail and more homage to really solidify that Prince theme throughout. And yeah, that was some of my favorites. And then, okay, so one of my favorite looks of all time, and lots of people's favorite looks, is Prince's gold jumpsuit that was cut out in the back for the MTV Video Music Awards. And he was very widely known for not just wearing suits, but jumpsuits also. So we had to do a jumpsuit, and I think this is the only picture that's more bride than any of them. But I also wanted to feature more of the Silhouette flowers, and that our designer that did that, and her
actual name of her company. Minnesota, Floral by Minnesota. And I think I said that earlier. Minnesota is the floral designer. But the jumpsuit, this jumpsuit is actually, who did the jumpsuit? Oh, Enzawani. Enzawani did this jumpsuit, and it's a full lace jumpsuit. And now that I look back at this, I wish that you can't see the detail on the screen, I don't think, but the detail, when you look at the photo, you can really see the lace. And it reminded me of like the lacy, if you remember that yellow jumpsuit that Prince wore in that performance on the MTV Video Music Awards, you remember it like having like a lacy cutout to it, and that this lace actually emulates that quite a bit on here. And then it just had like a really pretty overskirt, and then we had her wear the headband because Prince often had his hair like up in like almost a mohawk, and then had a headband around his head. So I thought that was a really important detail to showcase. So as you can tell, lots of thought went into the style and the fashion to try to make this as much of an homage to Prince as possible. Okay, so I have to go through one more section or maybe a couple sections. So one of the special things about the Beloved issue was that I actually went to Paisley Park, and it inspired an article called The Beautiful Experience. And I had not been to Paisley for a long time. And a little bit of background about that is that I went there a lot when I was younger, in my teens, early 20s. And I was in the process of bearing children when he passed, and so I did go to the memorial when he passed, but I had not been to any shows because I had a little baby at that time when he was doing piano and a microphone tour, and it just it didn't make sense for me to try to go to some concerts. I felt like, so I ended up getting invited to a memorial. And I fought with whether or not I should go, but I did go. And I wrote about the experience. And the article, a lot of it is a celebration to the experience of being able to be that close to a celebrity and somebody as inspiring as he was. And so the article talks about my experience going to Paisley Park from the time I was really young. My aunt actually brought me there when I think I was 12 the first time I got to go. And my parents put all their trust and faith that she knew what she was doing when she said, "Hey, can I bring your daughter to Prince's recording studio at 1 a.m.? And my parents thankfully said yes. And some of the first videos that I got to see, and music that I got to see be played in Paisley Park were music videos, like the Get Wild, and I write about it in the article. And actually, it's been so long since I wrote the article, I need to go back and read it again. But there's photos of me on stage with Prince. There's and then I did an inspired photo shoot, so using some of the pieces that I created, but also the coat of pink cashmere as an homage to one of his songs. And I tried to make it a shoot that was very celebratory and also captured like that feeling of feeling so close as so many of his fans that got to go to Paisley and experience that time of his life.
And I really wanted to capture that essence in the photos. So you'll kind of see what that felt like for me. I hope that was conveyed in some of the photos, and how we danced. We danced so much, and it was so fun. I'm so happy and elated that I got to have that in my life. I'm grateful to have that a unique experience like that. But then some of the sad parts are I'm standing in front of a memorial of him, because this was a celebration of his life. They actually had like a moment of silence when we went into the museum in the atrium, which is actually where he ended up passing. And it was just very cathartic and brought back so many memories, but also it was very therapeutic to go through that. So, and also I took pictures of some of the messages that people wrote about. There were lots of tables with messages. That was a really unique detail that they did. And I feel like it was handled just very, very well. But the article in itself was just, it was about my experience going there for this. And it was also about my experience having gone through that era of his life, and a celebration of him and how he inspired me and inspired Adore Magazine and inspired so many other people that I know. So again, this was just a really unique and fun issue. And then to go a little bit deeper into some of the sections, we focus obviously a lot on style. If you didn't already get that, we talk a little bit about knowing your shape and your style for dressing for any type of event. And I hope that you get inspired to go out of boundary with your style. We talk about gathering and safety and wellness, because that is something that is still always on the forefront of people's minds. If there's anything that COVID taught us, it's how to be a little bit safer and cleaner when we're doing events or hosting a party of any kind, whether it's 5 people or 500. So we go into detail about that. And like I said, it was just a very fun issue to produce, and I hope that it continues to have its legs, and because I think it's just very relevant to any time. Prince is timeless, right? His music is timeless, and I hope that I get to put out issues of this publication that celebrates all the things that we celebrate in life continually. And then we also did another feature towards the back of like fresh, healthy food. And throughout the magazine, we just have different styles of approaching different areas to celebrate in your life. One of the things that we talk about in almost every issue is we have like a relationship section. So like I mentioned, we had that couple that talked about reconnecting and what their tips are. And then we also had, so Relationship Strong is the name of that article that we pitched from the front cover. And this is actually Joni and Adam Wegman. And they talk about different things about relationships in their article. And then we had a local chef and blogger talk about the fresh food. And let's see, what other sections? We always have a resource directory. And then we also, let's see, I'm going to talk to you about, we have a trend guide. So there's also like the trending color palette for, and this is for home and for celebrations, because so many celebrations happen at home. And Adore really aims to be a lifestyle and celebration magazine, because we realize that people celebrate different things in different spaces, and we really want to meld all that together. So I hope you really enjoyed learning more about Adore Magazine, and I can't wait to share more about it with you.
And check out Live Life Being Adored podcast if you are one of our YouTube watchers. If you're one of our podcasters, go watch some of the YouTube episodes because we have interviews and we're going to be having more. And I can't wait to connect with each and every one of you. If you ever have any questions or you're interested in advertising in Adore Magazine, or if you're looking to have a fabulous celebration, Adore Productions is my event and production company. And we do hospitality consulting, event design, and event planning and marketing. We also have some of our own events that we produce. So if you're interested in one of those, reach out and let me know. Until next time, live life being adored. And it was so pleasurable to chat with you today and share more about one of my great loves, Adore Magazine.